Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and the topic I have for you this week, I call it self-acceptance, the key to living a happier life. Once again, my name is Richard, and thank you for listening to this podcast and supporting the podcast through your weekly viewing and the comment, and thank you so much. If you would like to know much what the Life for Living Well does, you can check us out on our community website at www.lifeforlivingwell.info. And if you do like to send us a request or comment or feedback, you can also send us email at hello@lifeforlivingwell.info. Once again, my name is Richard, and the topic I have for you this week, I call it self-acceptance, the key to living a happier life. So let's get started. So I'm going to start first by trying to give you a little bit background why I chose this particular topic. When you look around us today, it shows that there's no other time in our life that we actually needed to embrace self-acceptance, because so many of us demand so much about us from ourselves. We compare ourselves to other people, and we tend to not able to be happy with whatever we have at the moment. We tend to only find happiness once we set up a particular big goal or small goal, and when that goal is achieved, we no longer feel happy again. But I wanted to try to look at it in a different way, and the reason why I chose this topic is it might sound as new age things, but it's never a new age thing. It was something that people, generation upon generation, few people have embraced in their own generation, and they practice it, and it make them living a healthy and happier life. So I wanted to use this topic as well, and looking at it in a way that can bring joy to you if you embrace it into your life as well. Mark Twain once said that the worst loneliness is not to be comfortable with yourself. And what have we done today? Just look around you. Even in the society, in the scientist field, people spend billions of dollars to exploring other part of the solar systems. People spend billions of dollars to want to know what's going on in the space, which is okay, but it just shows you how much more we just keep busyness to keep ourselves busy. Because the idea of trying to exploring ourselves is not the most fun thing. So what we do, we try to avoid it. Yeah, the universe we have, this world, are 70% covered by water. We don't even have the idea of 10% of life under the land, or the life of being in the water. So it just shows you how society expects us to live, what society demands on us to behave. So, and if you have to agree with Mark Twain that the worst kind of loneliness anyone can suffer is not to be comfortable with yourself. So many people have gone to extreme lengths in order to portray themselves as somebody else for other people to accept them. So intrinsic happiness is what most people craving for. But as a society, what they have been misled to seek happiness through the intrinsic values only. So they use things like money, things like status, names, positions, or network. Who do you know? And this does not make people happy. I've met people that they are people that you would consider, according to society standard, that they were really successful in their career, but extremely unhappy. Extremely unhappy, not because they don't have the money, not because they don't have the friend, not because they don't have a family, not because they don't have the position of status. They have all those things, but they're still not happy. So, why we continue to do that? Generation upon generation, we keep feeding them. So when we have a child, we wanted them to be better than the neighbor's children. So, but deeply, many people remain lost and clinically unhappy. How do we get here? That's the question I ask myself, and I'm asking you the same question right now. Do you know how do we get here? Or how can we get out of here? What do we need to do? So what self-acceptance will do in your life? There's so many benefits when you begin to accept who you are. But this will not just happen by saying, okay, I have a problem, I'm just going to be a passive. This is not a self-acceptance. Or I want to achieve something, it's so difficult to achieve, I'm just to give up. That's not self-acceptance. Self-acceptance simply means that you embrace your strength and your weakness. You learn how to maximize your strength, and you also learn how to minimize your weakness. Self-acceptance is nothing to do with passiveness, where you become detached about everything. That is laziness. That's another way of the attachment to things. But when you accept yourself, you begin not to demand perfectionism in things that you do. You're no longer judging yourself with the telescope of the society or what the people expect from you. You don't need it to borrow or overspending your income in order to go along with the Joneses. You won't need to do that anymore. And when you spend time by yourself, you'll be content. When you spend time with other people that you really care about, you'll be content. You will need it to run away from your boredom. You will even take your boredom as your best friends. It will become a place of natural for you. So, what happened to us when we embrace self-acceptance? So, folks, as you listen to me right now, when you accept yourself, few things will begin to happen in your life. It's not only for you, it will happen, the people around you will begin to notice this in yourself, and you yourself will begin to notice this in yourself. So let's look at it one at a time. So, you will not only bring intrinsic happiness or joy into your life, but improving and radiating joy all around you. Things that used to bother you begin to look natural by the time you're able to look at it with a different eyes. So the meaning you put to things that happen to you is what will determine how you feel about it. So self-acceptance, we create a door and give you a key to so many doors that's being locked to you all this while. So let's examine the benefit of self-acceptance. Number one, whether you like it or not, you will develop self-awareness. You know, the tragedy in life is not how old somebody is, it's how emotional mature they are. You could meet somebody in their 20s and they can be so emotional mature than talking to a folks in their 50s or 60s. So the self-awareness is not only just bring you into how others eat, but how you as a person. What is it that trigger you? What is it that make you? Something happened recently. I wasn't unable to. I decided to skip breakfast and then have a lunch only. But at 12 o'clock, I was really, really hungry for something to eat. But what happened is that just because of that alone, I noticed that by my feelings, my emotion was a bit tense and I get irritated easily. But the fact that I was watching this experience like I was watching the TV, it was a moment for me. And I realized how I was reacting. I was reacting because I was hungry. But the person that I was talking to at that time, there's no way that person will know that my cause of my jumpiness or irritation is because I haven't have anything to eat. But the fact that I was able to observe myself in this level was a moment for me after I thought that, I know a bit about myself. So after then, I wrote a little down in my diary, and I pondered and reflecting about that little things that I just find out about myself. And this is the same thing that you will begin to notice in your life. It will come like a flash moment. You might think you know yourself, but you might still surprise yourself. I hear people say, it's not my fault. It's just because people have created an image of a good person in their mind, and they deceiving themselves that they are not capable to hurt another person. Of course they are. And it takes a lot of self-awareness to know that actually you could be selfish, actually you could be self-absorbed, actually you could be really, really not that nice person. You could be using your niceness to controlling other people. And if you don't have a self-awareness about your own behavior, you won't really take any action to wanted to correct that if you can, and to wanted to change that. But once you embrace self-acceptance to your life, one of the traits that you begin to notice in your life is ability to exploring yourself, your light and your dark side. Number 2, you no longer expect perfection from yourself or anyone else. And I think one of the conflict that we have in our friendship, in our family, in our job, in the world, is because we have people that have a very strong opinion about everything, and they go around and hurting more people by their own opinion. But once you accept yourself and somebody try to contradict that, you really don't have a need to defend that image that they are attacking, because you are more than those images. So the last and the third one that I also wrote down, not the last, is you no longer compare yourself to anyone else. And is there anything that this current generation suffer a lot more? Is comparison. You forgot that the folks that you went to school together, it doesn't mean that you have to have the same conclusion at a certain age in your life. And the person that showed their family, their children picture on the social media, that doesn't really tell you anything about what is going on in their life. But that's what they want you to say, or that's what they want, so they show that picture outside. Or you especially parents that comparing your children to another children that you have, or comparing to your friend children, you should stop doing this thing. And you cannot stop it unless you embrace self-acceptance into your life. Your DNA should not be a deficient in your life. It should be an opportunity to look how you can build on that weakness. If you are 6.1 and 5.8% in height, It doesn't mean you cannot have amazing life. Just think and see how you can make the opportunity from that limitation of presence that you have. And if you are 6.1, 6.4, 6.6, if you don't use it, it means it does not bring a benefit to your life or anyone has. So what I'm trying to say is that when you embrace the self-acceptance, you stop comparing yourself to other people. You compare yourself to yourself. You set a standard to yourself. You live your life with principle and conviction. Your confidence will improve. So number 4. Then it comes with a lot of benefit also when you practice self-acceptance. So what are the benefits that self-acceptance bring to people that practice it? Men and women that embrace self-acceptance as a key to the living happier life. One of the things that they have in common that you will notice when you spend time with them is freedom. And what is freedom to you might be different from me. Ability to think, ability to be in touch with a deeper creativity that they will have. You have people that used to say when they are a child, they were very gifted. So why did they lose this thing when they became adult? The pressure of the society, the pressure of the adulthood. And it takes a lot of practicing self-acceptance that you be in touch with your freedom to express, freedom to create, and freedom to inspire. And when you able to express all these things, then not only you benefit, the whole society benefited from it. So what other thing you will notice about people that embrace self-acceptance is balance, calmness, and they tend to bounce back quicker from setback. They also have enormous courage to confront fear. So they no longer run away from their weakness or deficiency. They actually use it, turn the setback into opportunity. So improving self-esteem, self-worth, and no longer need other people's approval anymore. So people that embrace self-acceptance as a way of life, these are the things that as an attribute that show in their life. So the question is, how do you embrace this thing? You have to develop a rituals that you do every day. Like create your own affirmations that you can bring into the play, and start small. Start to accepting who you are. Start to appreciate that regardless of your status, of your career, of your work, you are more important, and not because you have money, not because you have a name, not because of your gender, not because you have children or you don't have children, but you are more important because you are who you are as a person. And when you bring this into your life can have enormous change. I hope this podcast helps somebody this week. And if you like to know more about what Life for Living Well does, you can check us up on our website. At www.lifeforlivingwell.info. Or you can write to me at hello@lifeforlivingwell.info. My name is Richard, and I hope this podcast helps someone this week. Whatever you do, have an amazing week and stay safe. Thank you.